What's up guys, it's Markin, and in today's video I have a sneak peek at the gems of Paragon patch v42. Let's get right into it and take a peek. Alright, so you can see at the top of the screen here, we have a different option now. We have an option called Collection. Now this basically houses heroes, cards, gems, decks, chests, loot crates, banners, etc. Let's go over the gems, since that's what this video is about. As we spoke of in our deck system rework guide, you can insert gems into your ability trees at levels 1, 7, 13, 19, 25. So let's start with slot 1 of all the different trees and take a look at what's going on here. We have Onslaught. Onslaught, reduce your cooldowns by 0.1, so 1/10 of a second when you land a basic attack. Now this is level 1 of intellect, basic gem, not too much to it. If you're a heavy auto attack champ, your cooldowns will go down a bunch. Other than that, not super useful. Another level 1 for our intellect tree is auto shield. This is pretty solid, especially for defensive characters who are going to get pushed down a lane. You gain a shield for 2.5 seconds when you fall below 25% max health. Now this does have a 1.5-minute cooldown on it. However, when you're doing 1v1s mid lane, it very much helps. It allows you to get that little extra shield to help you win those battles. Finally, level 1 on the intellect tree, we have the auto mana potion. You gain 1.5 mana for 9 seconds when you fall below 40% max mana. Now this is not an activatable gem. This automatically pops on whenever you fall below 40% max mana. It also has a 60-second cooldown. So every minute you'll gain a little bit of mana. It's not extremely great for mana regen. If I'm a mid laner, I'm taking auto shield. This really helps you out the best in my opinion. Now next we'll go to the vitality tree. Level 1 vitality, we have healing towers. You gain 1.4 health regen and 1 mana regen while near structures. So any tower that you are near, you gain health regen and mana regen. This is amazing. I love this gem. For a level 1 gem, it's fantastic. I take it on almost every one of my characters. Next, we have jungle lifesteal. Basic attacks restore 2.5 health against jungle minions. Obviously, if you're a jungler, this is level 1 in vitality. It's a great gem to start with. There's another jungle gem you can start with in a different tree, which we'll get to here shortly, but this is your lifesteal gem. There are no more siphon cards, so your jungle quote-unquote cards are going to be coming from these jungle gems. Next up, we'll go to quick exit. This is a pretty cool gem. You gain 215 move speed for 5 seconds when leaving base. So you get this level 1 vitality tree, and every single time you're in base, boom, you come flying out. This is especially useful when those tier 2 towers get taken down. You can get right out of base very quickly and defend those towers. So this is a pretty cool level 1 gem for vitality. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, I'm not gonna lie. Next, we will move on to the agility tree. Level 1 on the agility tree, we have jungle assassin. Now this gives you 4.3 bonus damage to basic attacks on jungle minions. Again, there's no more jungle cards, so to speak, that give you bonus damage or lifesteal off jungle minions, so they're going to be part of the gems. So level 1 in agility, an extra 4.3 bonus damage to jungle minions. This is pretty cool. We also have auto health potion. As you remember, the intellect tree had auto mana potion. Level 1 in the agility tree also gives you access to auto health potion. Same deal, gives you 5 health regen for about 9 seconds when you fall below 50% max health. Again, this isn't something that you activate, it's something that auto activates for you. Now finally, level 1 in the agility tree, we have improved killing blows. You gain 3.1 bonus gold when killing an enemy minion. Great laning item, fantastic laning item. Gives you that little bit of extra gold for all of your minion kills. It's pretty sweet. Alright, now let's get into the level 2 gems. Level 2, again, you slot these at slot 7 on your agility trees. So let's get right into it. On the intellect tree, at slot 7, we have Blade Turn. This blocks the next basic attack after casting an ability. Fantastic item, and also the cooldown is only 15 seconds long. So Blade Turn's a very, very good item if you're building up in that intellect tree. This gem is excellent. It blocks that basic attack, and as you know, basic attacks hit pretty strong. So every 15 seconds, you're basically blocking a basic attack. It's pretty sweet. Next up, we have Deadly Mana. Killing an enemy minion increases your max mana by 1.2. Now, if you're building a card that works off of max mana for power or shields or anything like that, this Deadly Mana might be a great pickup for you. Also, this gem is great for any caster because you have that extra mana that you can just put out more and more and more abilities. Now finally, in the intellect tree for slot 7, you have experience. This is earned 6.1 bonus experience. So as soon as you slot this, slot 7, you will automatically earn 6.1 bonus experience the rest of the game. Awesome gem. It gives you extra experience. It's just, they have a lot of good options in this intellect tree. And you have to choose. You have to choose which one out of these that you want to spec. So it definitely gives you some options, and that's a pretty cool system. Now in the vitality tree for slot 7, we have armored. This will gain you a shield after being out of combat for 10 seconds. Now the maximum shield you can build is 125. Now the cooldown on this is 10 seconds. So say you are an offlaner and you are going in a 2v1 lane, you just hang out, you do not get in combat for 10 seconds, your shield procs, you get 125 shield, you can then go in, get your last hits, have your shield be absorbed by the damage that you're taking in, and then get out and let your shield build back up after 10 seconds, rinse and repeat. Second option here is damage reduction. This reduces your basic damage taken by 6%. Again, solid gem. The gems are very, very good this patch. I really like them, and the options they give you are very, very good. So reduces your basic damage taken by 6.1% from any type of damage. Finally, on the Vitality tree, we have Mana Reactor. You restore P mana. This is not the final build, as you guys know. So the amount of mana that you restore for every 3.7 damage taken is not in this build yet. So I don't know how much it is. It might be 0.1 mana, it might be 100 mana, I do not know. So you will restore a certain amount of mana for every 3.7 damage taken. Now let's move on. Ruthless in the agility tree for slot 7. Deal an additional 2.3 basic damage to heroes for every 10% of enemy heroes missing health. So every 10% of the health that they're missing, you will deal an extra 2%. This just gives you that extra damage to pop somebody off. The lower health they are, the more extra bonus damage you will apply. Now, second option is fast travel. In the agility tree, you gain 24.6 move speed while out of combat. So junglers that are going to gank, they're running through the jungle, you gain 25 move speed to get to those lanes faster. Great gem. Finally, for slot 7, in the agility tree, we have Wealthy. This is earn 3.1% increased gold. Now, just like the previous experience gem we had, where you gained 3.1 increased experience, this is 3.1 increased gold. For some of you supports that are out there aren't earning a lot of gold, this might be a great gem for you. Now, let's go back to the top. We'll go to slot 13. This will be your third slot of your agility trees. On the intellect tree, you have Spellburn. This gives you 1.2 mana regen. Also, your abilities deal bonus damage equal to 2.7% of the enemy current health over 3 seconds. So you will burn them for an additional 3% of their current health over 3 seconds. Not a bad gem whatsoever. Now, on the opposite effect, we have healing spells. This gives you a flat 36.8 mana, not mana regen, and you will also heal for 3.1% of ability damage dealt. So you have an option between these two. You can burn heroes for an extra percentage of damage, or you can heal for an extra percentage of damage. These level 3 slots in the intellect tree are pretty sweet. Now finally, we have Mana Fountain. 2.8% health regen as a base stat, then you also regen up to 11.6 mana per second based on missing mana. All 3 of these gems in the intellect tree for slot 13 are fantastic. Now let's go down to Vitality tree. Damage return. You gain 6 basic armor, plus you return 10% of all damage taken. So if you're going to be on the front lines, or even the back lines, 10% of all of the damage that you take in total, you will return to whoever was sending it out. Next up, we have Executioner's Rush. Now this gives you as a base stat 3.5 attack speed, Plus, you gain 92 move speed and 25 power for 3.5 seconds after killing an enemy hero. So if you're looking to get that huge burst of speed and power after killing a hero, this is a perfect gem for you. Now finally, the third option on slot 13 for Vitality is Shredding Strikes. 42.5 mana as a base stat. Then you also remove 1.2 basic armor from your target for 3.7 seconds for every basic attack. Now this can stack up to 8 times. So if you want a deck that tears through basic armor, this might be a perfect gem for you. Now let's move into the agility tree. The first option for slot 13 on the agility tree is multi-shot. Now this gives you a base stat of 3.5 attack speed. Ranged basic attacks fire 2 additional projectiles, each dealing 80% basic damage. So the cone on this radius is not huge in front of you. However, it's basically like a mini Sparrow ultimate. It's the cone is not as big as that. It's maybe 10% of the Sparrow ultimate. However, you do get 2 additional projectiles. It's fantastic for wave clear. If you are a carry and you are looking to add wave clear to your deck, slot this gem in slot 13 and go to town. Next option we have is Lifesteal. This again gives you 3.7 attack speed. It also gives you 6.1 lifesteal. So slot 13 of your agility tree, if you want lifesteal, this is it. Pop it in your deck, and once you hit slot 13 on your agility tree, you'll start gaining 6 lifesteal. Now the final option for slot 13 on the agility tree is Mana Generator. It gives you 6 basic armor. Also, you restore 4.3 mana when you land a basic attack. So if you are a support or a caster and you are running out of mana, every single time you land a basic attack on somebody, you will gain 4.3 mana back. Now let's go up to slot 19 of our trees. The first option for intellect for slot 19 is Ruthless Spells. You get 2.4 health regen, plus deal an additional 1.3% ability damage for every 10% of enemy heroes missing health. So again, the lower the health of the enemy that you are attacking, the more bonus damage you will apply to them. Next up we have Spell Shield, one of my favorites. You get 36.8 mana added to your max mana, plus you block the next enemy ability. So this has a cooldown on it. I believe it's 60 seconds. It's not in the final UI yet. I believe the cooldown is 60 seconds. You don't just block every single ability that gets thrown at you. But this is a very, very good slot 19 card for intellect. Next up, we have Reactive Spells. This gives you 60 health, and it reduces your cooldowns by 6% when receiving ability damage. So every time you are hit by an ability damage, you will get your cooldowns reduced by 6%. Very good if you're looking to throw out a lot of spells and you're going to be in the middle of the action. Now moving on to the Vitality tree, we have Ferocity. Ferocity gives you 2.4 power. You also gain up to 42 attack speed based on your missing health. So as your health gets taken away from you, you're going to gain more and more attack speed up to a max of 42. Next option in the Vitality tree for slot 19 is Consume the Dead. This will give you 63 health, and after killing an enemy unit, you are healed for 15.8% of the enemy's max health over 3.2 seconds. So, this counts for enemy minions, also enemy heroes. You will obviously be healed for a lot more if you're killing heroes. As a gem in the Vitality tree, when you're generally building health and defense, this is a fantastic option. Now finally, in the Vitality tree for slot 19, your last option is Reflexive Purify. Gives you 3.9 attack speed, and you also purify yourself after taking 501.1 damage. So any slows, stuns, roots, anything like that, you'll be purified of them, which means they will go away after you take 500 damage. Now let's get into the agility tree. First option for slot 19 is Empowered Rounds. It gives you 6 basic armor, and every 5th basic attack deals an additional 110.2 ability damage. So for all you carries or junglers that are going to be dealing damage, every 5th basic attack deals an additional 110 damage in ability damage. Next up we have Piercing Basic. Now Piercing Basic gives you a 2.2% health regen. Also basic attacks ignore 18% of the enemy's base armor. So again, just a nice armor piercing gem. Now let's go up to slot 25. This is going to be your final gem slot for all of your ability trees. First up for intellect we have Empowered Attacks. Gives you 3.9 attack speed, It gives you 6 basic armor, and after casting an ability, the next basic attack within 3 seconds deals 150 bonus ability damage. Now this gem has a 0-second cooldown. So if you think a hero like Crunch, where you auto attack ability, auto attack ability, auto attack ability extremely quick after another, you're dealing 150 bonus ability damage every single time you do an auto attack after ability. On heroes like Crunch, it really shines. It's a very good gem. Next up, we have overpowered spells. You gain 35 mana, you gain 6 ability armor, and then abilities deal 20% bonus damage and cost an additional 30% mana. So if you are a bursty mage and you are looking to burst people down and aren't worried about using up your mana, this gem is perfect. 20% bonus damage is pretty good, especially late game. Now, your final option for slot 25 on Intellect is Amplify Aura, 2.6 power, 2.7 health regen, and nearby enemy units take 10% increased ability damage. So whoever is around you takes an additional 10% increased damage. Now this is only against enemies, so your team will not be hurt because of this gem. So if you're going to be in the middle of the action, hop right in there. This is great for tanks. This is great for casters who are going to be in the middle of everything. You hop in there, everybody will take an additional 10% damage. Now, slot 25 for Vitality. First option is Armor Aura. 63 health, 1.2 mana regen. Nearby enemy units have basic armor reduced by 12. Nearby allies have basic armor increased by 12. So again, if you are a tank, hop right in the middle of everything. You will take armor away from your enemies and give it to your team. It's a fantastic gem. Next up, your next option is Improved Health Regen. Gives you 3.5 attack speed, 2.2 health regen, and then you heal for 0.2 of your max health per second. Now this increases by 0.2% every second while out of combat, which stacks up to 6 times. So you are constantly going to be regenning your health, and if you are out of combat, you regen even more. Now the last option for Vitality for slot 25 is Avenging Spells. This will give you 3.5 attack speed, 6 ability armor, and when you are hit by an enemy basic attack, your cooldowns are reduced by 0.2 seconds. So again, if you're somebody that's looking to put out a lot of spells and you're going to be in the middle of everything, every time you get attacked from a basic attack, your cooldowns are reduced. Now finally, we are down to the agility tree for slot 25. Your first option is Bounty Stalker. This gives you 6.6 ability armor. Basic attacks grant 1.2 attack speed and 0.9 power for 3.7 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. So every time you hit somebody, you gain 1.2 attack speed and basically 1 power for 4 seconds. So you can just continue to stack this up, stack this up, stack this up, stack this up, and be doing tons of damage and getting your attack speed way up there. It stacks up to 10 times, so you get a lot out of this gem. Next up, we have Critical Hits. Critical Hits gives you 3 power, 2.2 health regen, and your basic attacks have a 9% chance to deal an additional 46% bonus. So there's not really too many crit cards anymore. It's in your gems. So this is the big one. So you have a 9% chance to deal 46% bonus damage. Crit is not that popular right now in the tests that we've played, so this gem might not work too well in live. However, when it goes live, it's up to you guys whether this works out or not, so we'll see how it goes. Now finally, Relentless Pursuit. 60 health, 2.2 health regen, and basic attacks no longer apply a combat penalty, which means there is no move speed penalty. Every single time you shoot, you get no move speed penalty. Now late game, early game, is as fast as you can get to slot 25 in your agility tree, get this gem. It's fantastic. You can chase people down for the entire rest of the game, and you'll never get a slow anymore from shooting. So guys, that is it. Those are all of the gems that are in the current build of V42. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know this was a long video. I know it was. It's hard to get through. It's basically just stats. I just really want to show you guys what's out there now. We do have more V2 videos. We'll link them in the description below, so check those out. I know it's not released yet, so if you want those sneak peeks, pay attention to this channel. Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, stay active.